So for our first challenge that we're going to be tackling, we're going to do the Seasonal Championship, High Noon. The reward for this is the Jaguar F-Type, and the car restriction on this is Retro Saloons from PI 100 to 700. So I'm going to go to my garage first and take a look at the retro saloons that I have and just see what I have. I always like to start with ones that I own, and then if I don't like what's available, then I'll go buy something. In this case, I do like what I've got here. We've got the M3 1997, which I've already got spec'd out to an A800, so I'm not going to use that. I'm going to go ahead and take this M3 2005 that I haven't spec'd out yet. It's starting out at a 675. This is not optimal. Usually I'd like to start with something a little bit lower in performance index and spec it out a little bit further. But I think that's going to be good. Going back over to the festival playlist real quick, I just want to see if they're going to tell us. It looks like these are going to be dirt events. So we're going to want to put off-road tires and convert it to all-wheel drive if at all possible. So let's see if we can do a drivetrain swap to all-wheel drive. We can. What does the body kit do? Body kit, oh goodness. Yeah, I don't want any of that, I don't think, for the dirt. Let me see, can we afford an engine swap? 2.6 liter i6 twin turbo. That actually gives us a little bit more headroom, and it says it makes us slightly better for off-road. It makes our launch worse, which might actually be preferable. I think I'm going to do that. We're actually going to lose 6 horsepower, but I think that's going to pay dividends for us in the off-road category. The front bumper, nah, neither of those, none of those look any good. Rear wing, that might be desirable just because, again, it gives us a little bit more headroom for some other adjustments. Not going to be, I don't know. There's no difference between those, so I'm just going to leave it as stock. For the drivetrain, we are going to go with a race transmission 7-speed. I am going to go for the lighter drive shaft, and we're going to go for the off-road diff. I need to go back to tires and rims. We're going to go for the rally tire compound, because if I remember correctly, these events do have a combination of on-road and off-road. We're going to leave the tire width like that for the fronts. We're going to go as wide as possible for the rears. Let's see. And I'm going to add a little bit of weight, I think, with the wheels. Let's just see what we can find that looks good in these. Something good for an off-road car, an off-road Beamer. That actually looks kind of cool. Don't necessarily need to add weight on this. Oh, that looks pretty cool, though. So again, that's just giving us a little bit more headroom. For off-road, sometimes you want a little bit of weightier wheel, it seems like. It tends to improve the... We're going to go with rally springs. We don't want anti-roll. I would like to fit in the weight reduction if we can afford it. So let's go ahead and do that. We're not going to get brakes. We're actually not going to get anything else. We're right at the top of B700 here. So let's go ahead and leave it as that. I don't know if we've got an optimal setup, but we've sacrificed a little bit of horsepower, not much, but we've made this thing really tricked out. It should handle pretty well. We've got a transmission that we can manage our gear ratios on, which is always really important. So let's see how this works. The one thing I forgot to do that I'm going to go back in and do, we got to paint this thing. Always got to paint the car. So designs and paints, paint the car. This is off-road. I always like to go matte black for an off-road car. That looks pretty rugged. Maybe not matte black. Maybe we go matte, more like a... Is matte brown too ugly? Is that just too on the nose? I don't know. I'm gonna go with matte black. And for the rims, I think that just going with a... I think that the rims look fine as they are. So nothing too fancy, just a little bit of personalization. Okay. Backing out. Now we are going to pull up the festival playlist. And there we are. Win the seasonal championship. The reward is a Jaguar F-Type. We will fast travel to the location. Hit a few more boost boards. Our fast travel cost is down to 3,800. Just want to go in here. Always like to hit the XP boost for the car mastery. Tag the first couple. Get the event finish boost. Ten additional Forzathon points, can't go wrong with that. Let's see, message center, news, update to the community. Hey, 1,000 Forzathon points. We'll take that. So we're going to be getting 1,000 Forzathon points. I like it. I can't complain about that. Glad that they're going to be addressing the issues because those have been pretty bad, honestly. Some of the disconnects and connection issues that we've been having with the multiplayer with this game have been pretty painful. So it's good that they're addressing those. So let's see how this does. This is untuned right now. We're going to see how well we do in the race and if we need to tune our car at all. Decent launch. Even with that slightly tuned engine, the BMW power is still pretty good. Glad I went with the rally tires and not the off-road tires. As I expected, a decent amount of pavement on this course. But I'm also glad that we didn't stick with street tires or anything like that because we're going to want those rally tires for these dirt sections, for the off-road sections here. We're already up to 5th, so this is serving us pretty well. Although the top 4 seem to be disturbingly far away from us right now. Setup's maybe a little bit too tight, and final drive feels like it might actually be a little bit long on this transmission. So those are a couple of adjustments that I'm already thinking about making. That turbo engine really does sound different from what a normal M3 would sound like, or what you would expect an M3 to sound like stock. It's got that high-pitched turbo whine. Trying to see if I can make up for some of my car's deficiencies with some better driving, but I've definitely recognized that this is not what I want in terms of a final spec for this car at all. So let's actually go ahead and restart the event. We know that we're not there with what we need. So let's go ahead and tune this car up. We're going to go softer on the tires. I'm going to try to loosen the thing up a little bit. We also know that we want the final drive to be a little bit higher. Let's just go with 420. Why not? We can leave the camber as it is right now. We didn't add anti-roll bars. We're going to go softer springs in front and stiffer in rear. Damping, again, softer in front will stiffen the rear bump stiffness a little bit. I want the damping actually to be softer overall. Just give it a little bit grippier feel, hopefully. Downforce, rear. We're going to go all the way to speed on that rear aero. Just take the wing out as much as possible. And then I would like... let's go with 70% rear on the power. Feels better. Hard to say if this is actually better or not yet. Handling seems a little bit better. This may just be the wrong car for this challenge. Started out very close to the top end of the performance index, and that's usually not good just because it doesn't give you much headroom to play with. So I may want to switch to something that's a little bit lower on the starting performance index so that I can really trim it out better. Although those tuning adjustments that I did definitely seem to have had the desired effect. The drive ratio really is keeping this thing happier in terms of staying in the power band range where I want it to be. Also, if I shift a little bit later, that helps with that as well. We're in fourth. We were struggling to stay in fifth last race. And we just lost fourth. not going well, is it? We're running into people. We have abandoned all semblance of racecraft in our desperation. Try to make a broken tune work. Very stuck. I wonder if I do just want to get rid of the all-wheel drive, doesn't it? Most of this is pavement. So either eliminating the all-wheel drive or getting away from those tires and maybe giving myself a little bit more power might be desirable. But yeah, I'm just gonna back out and I think I'm gonna abandon this build entirely in favor of something else. So it just didn't give me as much headroom as I wanted in terms of adjustability. So since we're going up to B700, I think I'm going to be looking for something that's more in a C range. We're going to go look for retro saloons. And I actually need to keep an eye on my money because I don't have a ton. You know what might actually be fun is this guy right here. The 190E Mercedes. That could be fun to turn into a rally car. The other option that we have would be one of these older BMWs, the 88 M5. And then there's the 850R 1997 Volvo wagon. This is actually probably ideal. The Sierra Cosworth, that was already like a classic rally car, so I think I'm going to go with that. Let's see. We've got some pretty cool looking paint schemes for this. This one right here has the number 27 on it. Looks very Ford Racing. I like it. So we're going to get that. And we're going to take this thing right up to the top of B700. And we're going to give this another go. We're going to get it tuned out just right for rally spec. I'm actually going to try leaving it in all-wheel drive mode. Or in rear-wheel drive. So we'll leave that alone for a second. Let's go put on the off-road stuff we know we want. So we know we want rally tires. Know we want some good-looking rally rims. Those OZs right there, those look really nice. Okay. Make the rears as wide as we can. Leave the fronts alone for right now. We need a rally suspension. that weight reduction. Let's see. Okay, going to all-wheel drive. Let's see. What about the rear wing? That gives us an adjustable rear wing. And then sometimes the rear wing, the all-wheel drive now. So, what else can we sneak in here? We can get slightly better brakes. Can we get a little bit more power? Let me just see what our power conversion options are. All way too much. But what can we get in terms of... Let's see. Can't get better exhaust. Can we get a better intake? We can get a better intake. That'll give us 4 extra horsepower. Or we can drop an additional 8 pounds with the flywheel. Let's go for the better intake. And let's try this out. Different direction with the vehicle. Oh, one other thing that I didn't do. I hope I've got enough for this. I do want the race transmission. I at least want the sport transmission to be able to in the race clutch. So we're going to do that instead of the rally diff as well. So we're going to go ahead and back out that intake. That puts us right at B700. I think we're going to be better off with this. Are we actually over? We're over. Okay, what can we drop? What do we not need? Oh, we can do that. That'll actually work. That gives us a little headroom. I like having the clutch because it gives us that shift timing. Let me see if we can sneak in that intake. Nope, can't do that. We can go with the flywheel and the race drive one, so drops a little bit more weight. It's a good trade-off. We added some more interesting aero. Let's go ahead and custom tune this a little bit. We're going to go super low on our tire pressures, gearing. We're going to pull that in right about there. Alignment we'll leave alone for right now. Ride height we'll leave alone. We're going to take out the aero entirely. We're going to go for speed as much as we can. We want it leaned out. Okay. Looking good. Ryan Relish, how you doing? I'm doing well. Always with the Bad button presses over here. Back out into the real world. Trying to get at least one of these seasonal championships under our belt before we hop on to iRacing for some practice before tonight's Winter iRacing Series race at Charlotte. There we go. So our BMW build did not work. I'm hoping that this Cosworth turns out a little bit better. If this doesn't work, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I could go back to the stock tires and try some engine upgrades and things like that instead. This is not looking particularly convincing in a straight line, is it? Hoping that it handles the bends a little bit better. We do have the rally tires, but we didn't put in the all-wheel drive drivetrain on this. I'm not actually missing it though on the dirt. It seems to be still pretty good. It's a good thing that wasn't solid. I did miss that checkpoint. I thought I did. I'm going to try this one more time, just because I think that with a little bit of better driving, we might be okay here. I really want to get this thing off the line better. I think I'm going to tune the diff to be more biased towards acceleration. This is a pretty short track. Top speed isn't matter too much. Around some of these drivatars here. Absolutely nothing. I am all over the place. Alright, through that checkpoint. Awesome, clean racing, but I'm not doing much of anything here. This challenge is presenting a real problem, and maybe it's just because I'm really just trying too hard to get grip out of the car with tires when I should really be just going all in on power. But what I am going to do before I give up on this tune entirely, or this build entirely, is I'm going to go ahead and try to tune this thing out better for acceleration. That's not doing what I think it does. But I actually do want a little bit more oversteer. So we'll try that out. Try this one more time. If this doesn't work, I'm going to get rid of the rally tires and try to go for a more powerful engine. I am off to a better start here. Although not off to a better start than what I was getting in the BMW. But the BMW would also stall out. I'm hoping that this one not being better off the line is... The idea was that I was hoping that this might race better. It is really, really sliding through the dirt, though. The car's gripping great. It's got a lot of handling. Ah, I even cut back to hit that checkpoint and still missed it. Okay. We are still struggling with this build. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go... Well, first we're gonna go ahead and get our mastery unlocks here. And unlock it in our car collection. So one more Ford. Got a wheel spin for leveling up. Hey, how about that? That's cool. So... that might have been one that I actually already had. Let's go back to the festival. And... let's see. We're going to... go back to the stock tires. And instead of trying to play with that, let's do this. Let's go with an engine swap. Can we go all the way up to a 6.2? I wonder if we can... And, well, yeah, let's try that. We're not going to be able to get a drivetrain swap. Let's see if we can go all the way up to a 6.2 liter V8, though. And... see if there's anything... Yeah, we can go one less on the weight reduction. And where can we get those additional couple of... yeah, let's do that. Let's try this. So we're going a different direction. We're giving up some on the handling. We're going for more power. I'm going to see how this works. I don't know how this is going to work. Usually I bias towards handling, but maybe I'm favoring that too much because clearly that was not working for this challenge. Also, it's worth noting that the BMW was just doing better. So maybe doing the same thing with the BMW is the way to go. We might end up just going back to the Beamer, but I really want to try. I want to make this work on the Cosworth. I invested in the Cosworth, I haven't been buying many cars. The fact that I bought the Cosworth, it's like, I want this to be a good rally car. But maybe it's not. Or maybe, you know, I could just be still doing the wrong things as I tune it out. But let's see if we can... We should have a lot more power. We've thrown in a V8. Sounds very different. I think melts the tires off the line now. Don't have a lot of grip for the dirt parts. I wonder if I could get rid of some of my other changes. Get rid of the clutch, get rid of some of the other stuff, and get the all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive would pair with this engine well. This is not working. We're learning things. We're learning. That's what this is all about. This is supposed to be educational, informative, and whatnot. So we are learning what doesn't work. So, back to the festival. This video is turning into a comedy of errors. Can we actually do something right with this? Okay, back to upgrades and tuning. Custom upgrade. I may be incorrect in being married to that, but I want to try to do this with that V8 engine. So let's see what we can lean out. Want an off-road diff. Leave the driveline alone. We have a stock transmission. The weight reduction. Take that all the way out. We're just not going to have enough headroom for the all-wheel drive. So that engine was actually a little bit too powerful. Let's see if we can go with a less powerful engine. And there's no way we can get the rally tires with that. We might be able to fit in the street tire compound though, which would be just better overall. Alright, let's see. Can't go front width. Can we go less on rear width? There's no point in going less on rear width. And go even wider on the track on the rear tires to really just get some grip. How are we going to... Okay. That doesn't give us much. Don't have the brakes. So we can't get this down. To where we want. It's possible that I've just picked the wrong car for this. But we can't do it with that, so we're going to have to go with the stock powertrain and some upgrades. Which does mean we get to have the cool sounding exhaust. Let's see, cams and valves. Can't do cams and the intake. Should get a better intercooler on there. Let's see. Can get the race transmission in. Don't actually need to go right to the top of 700. If we have it at 698, that's actually fine. Since I think that they calibrate it to what you're doing, but let's go ahead and do that. So hopefully this is a compromise. We've given up. Those rally tires were really taking up a lot of performance indents, so hopefully we've struck the right balance of grip and power here. But again, as I said, it's possible that going with the Sierra Cosworth is just not the right car for this event. If it's not, I'm really interested in going after that Mercedes. That was, I think, a 572, so there was plenty of headroom to really get that one tuned up and competitive for the event. Quicker off the line than I was before. That's good. We're making some news early. Handling the off-road section a lot better than we were before. We're gaining time through there rather than losing time versus our competition. That's a good sign. So we seem to be a little bit quicker than them all around the track now, which is what we want. And then we can, you know, just use a little bit of rudeness and disrespect for the driver tires to work our way by them as well. This is the best that our car has been since we started trying this challenge. It seems like after some finagling, we actually worked that out. Sorry, had to use up the Volvo there because we missed the checkpoint. We made him pay the price for it. That right there is another Cosworth. So I think we've hit on the right combination after a lot of tweaking and trying to figure it out. This looks like a good combination. So the compromises that we made, again to review, where we went with these street tires, we wanted that extra grip over the stock tires. We wanted all-wheel drive. That ended up being very important to have for these off-road sections. Getting the rally tires was not super important. This car just doesn't have enough power at PI 700 to take full advantage of the extra grip provided by the rally tires on either surface. So the street tires were actually a good compromise. What we really needed at this performance index range for this car was we needed more power. So getting that was more important than going with the more appropriate tires for this challenge. And yeah, with those changes, we ended up with a good balanced build that works well and is giving us something that's capable of beating the competition in this challenge. Then it's just a matter of driving it correctly, and you can see that we're even pulling away from the pack here as we start lap 3. I hope that these are helpful to you know, not just show the final tune, but actually show the thought process that I go through of swapping out different upgrades so that you guys have the ability to do those on your own. It's not what every channel does, but it's what I do. I'm not doing what every channel does, so, you know, trying to show. I always have done a little bit more of a long form video. I may try doing some editing and cut these up at some point, but I think that showing the whole thought process makes it, the videos have a better educational feel to them. Clearing out some fencing there. Little bit of a handbrake turn on that final one there. And let's get across the line here. First place. Looks like we've got a good build that should be able to carry us all the way through this challenge. Hopefully it does well on the next two. Alright, pull up the world map. The next two, if I remember correctly, were up here. So we're just going to fast travel to the next one and do the next challenge. Get it nice. This one you can launch is really clean too. You can just hold the throttle to the floor and it will just launch perfectly off the line. Right through these checkpoints early. Just a nice, hold a nice drift through that corner. Definitely overdrove that one a little bit, but we're alright. Making some drivatars unhappy, I'm sure. If drivatars had feelings, that is. Currently sitting 5th, but looks like we're gaining on those in front of us, so not feeling too bad about the fact that we haven't jumped up to the lead already. It's 37% of the way through. We do want to get on with the program here. This is a point-to-point affair, not a laps race, so we need to start closing on these guys and working our way through. And 4th place, the 5th. We're going to go ahead and use 8 wheels instead of 4 to get through that corner and pick up a position. I feel like against AI, anything goes in these events. The whole goal is to complete the challenge. I would not drive this way against live opponents. 75% of the way through. And we're up to second. %15 of the track left. There's the finish. So we're not going to get first on this leg of the event. I could restart, but instead I think we're probably just going to let this second place finish stand on its own. The main goal is to win the championship. We should still be in decent position to do that and just win the final race. I don't even know if the guy that won that was the guy that finished second to us, so it's possible that we're all right. So, yeah, we actually have a 2-point lead. I will like that design. I do like it. So, you don't have to win every race in the challenge to win the challenge. You just need to finish well enough in all of them. So up here for the final challenge in our, for the final race in our series. And if we can win this thing, the reward, the carrot at the end of the stick, is the Jaguar F-Type, a very cool car that will be great to add to the collection. Probably one we pull out and use to tackle one of these challenges in the future. Tally-ho! Full speed ahead. Only the 7th on the start. Some big air there. Missed the collision that we wanted to have with our competition there, and that has cost us brutally. Not a good first lap here. May actually want to change things up a bit, because this looks like this one is all dirt. Mainly, I just need to drive better, I think. Brutal first lap. That's pretty good, though. Just hanging on the rev limiter there. Side here. Don't want to wash out the way that we did last time. Yes, we enter the final lap here pretty soon. We are only in 8th place, but I'm starting to figure out the track a little bit better. So I think we're going to have to give this another go in order to hit the finish we need to win the championship, and I think this is looking more possible as we complete some laps and learn the course. I am kind of wishing that I had given it another go on the last one. I think that a second attempt could have yielded a first place result and made this last contest a lot easier to do. But I don't think that this is unwinnable by any stretch either. Of course, I could be fooling myself. First and second are way out there, and I'm struggling to get into out of 8th, so we're just going to restart this event. I'm going to make some changes to the setup here. We're going to go lower with the tire pressures. We're going to go a little bit higher with the gearing. We're going to go slightly more aggressive with the camber. We'll leave the ride height high. We need that for the puddles that we're running into. We're going to go with just a... Well, we'll leave the power balance right where it is. Let's see how that works. Sometimes little changes. Brock with a beard, how you doing? I am running the Winter Series tonight, actually, so this is probably going to be my last race in Forza Horizon tonight, because I'm going to hop off, get a little food in me, and go do some practice before the race tonight. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to running the Winter Series in the NASCAR Legends cars on iRacing. There we go. That's exactly how to use up the competition to help them make your corners for you. Catching those front two is going to be a problem, but let's see if we can do it. We're in 6th right now. Let's go into the cockpit. Full try-hard mode here. Definitely find sometimes that going into the in-car view helps me drive better. Sometimes not. Depends on the track and the challenge that we're doing. But we need to maximize everything we can close the gap. These highly skilled driving cars are driving as advertised right now. They're kicking my butt. Closing in a little bit here. I don't know if our rate of closure is what we need to get all the way to first. I think still seems a little bit tight, so maybe that's a potential area for improvement. Could try to loosen it up with some suspension tuning. Just absolutely use that guy up. But we're in a little bit of desperation mode here. We need this to work. We're on the final lap. We've made it to third. The guy that is in second place is leading, I believe. In that Volvo. So we actually need to go get first here. We're just laying it all out. Trying to drive as accurately as possible here. Oh, we're gonna almost get there. We're almost there. We're in second. We just need to get to this inside coming up on this next corner. We're in a full send here. Oh, we're going to get around the outside and at the line. We got him. Look at that. In style. You'll love to see it. Yeah. Cracker with the beard says, I didn't know you were capable of running someone in the wall. I drive a lot cleaner on iRacing when it's against real opponents. When it's against the AI, you know, anything goes for what's necessary to complete the challenge, and there we go. 56 points. We complete the challenge. We're gonna do our little dance there. Yeah. Drop it like it's hot, spin around. It's all for the crowd. And there we go, the 2015
next time, just ask Ramiro if you can borrow his airplane, eh?
And we level up, which means we're gonna get a wheel spin. Love to see it. What do we get? Oh, I wanted that Camaro, but right now we're actually short on credits, so 175,000 credits is a nice prize there too. All right. This little Cosworth was great. I didn't get any pictures of the grid, but I want a photo of this guy. This car did work.
You know, it's only when I have to upload all your high-res shots that I realize how many cars we have at Horizon.
I'm going to save this as Cosworth. Good little car. And yeah, let's go take a look at our F-Type. Let's go ahead and collect the unlock. Nice. So how are we doing on Jaguar, by the way? We do not have much in the Jaguar. But there we go. We need 11 more Jaguar to get the prize. 3 out of 14. We have 1 available mastery point. Not much there, but let's see. Just go ahead and drive over to the Baja. It's right here.
You have arrived at your destination.
Sliding right in there in style. Let's see actually here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into the Jaguar F-Type. Very cool looking car. Drive it in its stack configuration, just take it for a quick spin. Burns out quite nicely. Definitely drifts nicely. Yeah, let's take it off-road for a little bit here. Handles that pretty well as well. Don't want to run into that. There's an XP board over here that I want to try to tag. Let's hope it's not on top of a house. Road discovery here too. There's a speed camera. One star on the speed camera there. Trying to get this whole road discovered. That's what I love about Forza Horizon. The challenges are really fun, but also just, you know, taking advantage of the fact that this is an open world driving game and enjoying the open road is really fun too. It really is just a celebration of everything that we love about cars. There we go. That road is fully discovered. Let's go over here and see if this is next keyboard that we can actually tag. It is. There we go. We've gotten 109 out of 200 XP boards. Let's go ahead in here to the car mastery, go ahead and get the XP bonus. And yeah, we'll go ahead and unlock this. Puts us in range of some Forza-thon points, which are always good to get. I always tried, you always want to, just, you know, in the interest of trying to get everything, getting the Forza-thon points and the wheel spins out of every car that you own is a good way to maximize what you've got. But again, as you can see from the way that I play this, I'm not going super meticulous about trying to, you know, meticulously go through every single thing in order. Pop in the car, do what you want with that car. Pop in a different car, do what you want in that car. Play the game how you want. That's what makes it the most fun for me.